Welcome to Homestead Reptile. Today I want to talk to you guys about the crazy posts I have seen on Facebook the last 2 weeks. So this is the crazy gecko people of Facebook. So again, the last 2 weeks I've been seeing some of the weirdest posts, like people really like overhumanizing their geckos, treating them almost like dogs, like love and kissing on the head, cuddling and petting, like almost very dog-like, which your gecko's not really enjoying. And it's like that might be annoying, but it's not really harmful. And this is kind of where I'm saying the harmful part is coming on. So people are treating their geckos very similarly to dogs. So a well-socialized dog, loves to go on car rides, loves to see new sights, meet new people. Your gecko does not like that. The gecko does not want to see new sights. It does not want to meet new people. It does not want to see new smells. It does not want to sniff another gecko's butt. Your gecko just wants to stay in its cage and be happy in its cage. So this group of people, and I've seen people do this, so I've seen these for sale at like big box shops, and you can definitely get them on Amazon. So you can Google search tiny reptile harnesses. So it's a little leather harness with a little string attached that you can basically attach to your gecko or any small reptile and basically walk them around. So why is this a product? I don't know. Is this a good product for your crested gecko? Hell no. Is your crested gecko going to get any enrichment or enjoy out of this product? No. So these people, I've seen them take their geckos to Petco's, PetSmarts, Pets Plus Pluses, pretty much anything pet. I've seen them do that. I've seen people walk their gecko, not on the ground, but they'll have their gecko on their shoulder at least, and just walking them around on hot days, slowly frying their gecko. I've seen them take them into places like Home Depot and Lowe's. Now, I'm not thinking it's a ton of people. I think it's just like when you see it, you remember it. And I've seen a few of these really stupid posts. Some of these weren't just on Facebook. I've seen some of these things on like some TikTok reels of people doing this stuff. So realistically, your gecko is getting zero enrichment, zero enjoyment, and a ton of stress. They are nocturnal, so you're getting them up during the day and stressing them out. They're hot and dry now. It's just they don't want to be outside of their environment for long periods of time. Just don't do it. Again, that's just it's weird. Don't do it. Your gecko is getting no enjoyment out of it. Another thing that I see people doing a lot. So crazy, horrible care. So there was this one post, and I'm bringing this post up in particular because I have screenshots of it. Now, if you look at this photo, this is clearly a dying gecko, and you see this person's hand. It looks like this gecko is living in this jar. So I'm pretty positive this gecko is living in this jar. So this is the broad strokes of the story. This new owner, recently got a crested gecko. Got it from a breeder. And not in this article right here, but in the comments below, which I don't have them anymore because I believe the original poster deleted this within an hour, so I wasn't able to archive everything. It sounded like she was saying the breeder told her to keep the gecko like that. So she was keeping it in a garage. The garage was being cooled to 72, but either the power went out or something in the garage heated up to 86, she believes. And the gecko's clearly dying of heat stroke, and she wanted help with, she thought he was brain dead. What do I do? Is like, that thing is suffering at this point. It's gonna die. It was circling around in her hands. It was gasping slowly. It was soaked to the bone. I think she washed the gecko off. And this is a case of just really horrible care. So this person did multiple things wrong. Keeping a gecko in a mason jar, keeping a gecko in a garage, keeping a gecko on pine needles. So this is kind of how I feel about it. It's like, if you wouldn't keep a dog in a garage because you're worried that the power might go out and it's going to get too hot for the dog, don't keep your gecko in the garage. That's something to keep in mind. But not just the garage thing, it's also keeping the gecko in the mason jar. So basically, the gecko died of basically being steamed to death. There's very little ventilation in a mason jar, as you can tell. Pine needles are toxic to most reptiles, most everything, to be honest. It's you'll have upper respiratory issues if you're around pine all the time. They've done studies on humans being stuck around pine all the time, and people get respiratory problems. That's just how pine is. So I have seen a lot of cases of people basically frying their geckos. There was this other post. This was also a crazy post. Person A goes into pet shop, buys gecko from small pet shop. Pet shop owner or employee or whatever tells them these geckos don't like it hot. You should get them home quickly. New owner of gecko says, I will surely do that. New owner sits in hot car with no AC, slowly cooks gecko to death. Gets angry at pet shop owner. You sold faulty gecko. What do you think happened to that gecko? Alright. And another thing I'm seeing a lot of is improper feeding. So if you want to give your gecko a treat, like some fruits that they can eat, some banana, like an overripened banana, you give it to them in their bowl and they nibble on that a little bit, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's a treat. It's not meant to give them that is not going to be their main diet. It's perfectly fine. But don't give your gecko vegetables. I'm seeing a lot of people giving their geckos vegetables, giving their gecko baby food. I thought the baby food thing was a myth now. Everyone understood you don't give them baby food. But this last food item, giving your crested geckos pureed hot dog, that's a thing. Another thing I think is a little odd is buying hamster wheels for your crested gecko for enrichment. So everyone wants to enrich their animal's life, but a hamster wheel is not the way for a crested gecko. It's like, how about I put a slide in my tank for my crested gecko? I'm sure they'll get a ton of enrichment sliding down, and that's pretty much as much enrichment as you're going to get from a hamster wheel. Look up crested geckos running. They don't run well. They don't have the urge to run miles. If you're going to give them something that's enriching, climbing space, new places to hide, ladders, climbing ropes, they would prefer that. If you could make them like a little rock wall with a ton of little crevices and places to hide and climb in, they would love that over a stupid hamster wheel. So I don't know why some people are using hamster wheels as enrichment. Is it going to really hurt your gecko? I don't think so, but there needs to be some long-term studies, because even with hamsters, if you give a hamster the improper hamster wheel, it messes with their back, and they're meant to run like that. Not on a wheel, but they're meant to like run, and crested geckos aren't really built to run. So I don't know what the long-term effects of constantly being stuck on a hamster wheel. And does your gecko actually use the hamster wheel? I could like sit some of my fat females on that hamster wheel, and they'd probably just be a nice place to take a nap and poop on. So if this was interesting, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. I've seen some insane posts. I haven't even told you guys everything I've seen. And if you like this topic, I'll do another one. But I've seen some just like downright crazy stuff. And if you've seen some crazy stuff, leave it in the comments. I mean, whoa. Again, like and subscribe.